Ah,
And
good call.
we're off.
And we're off. Hello.
The race horses are off.
Yep.
Bucky's going around the corner. He's going. Lucy's coming around tight on the sixth.
We've got lightning
on the
coming
sixth
around.
lap.
It's coming around the loop on the home stretch now.
She looks like she's on crack, but she's actually on horse feed. She's eating horse food
Oh, that's good.
with methanol in it.
That's good. What's
No.
methanol?
I don't know. It's like meth.
Ah.
It's like part of meth.
Ah.
The main ingredient.
Cool. I'm learning so much today.
So today I'm with my friend Chadlick,
Hello.
not Tyler anymore.
No.
He's transformed into a whole another being.
Yeah.
It's been a rough quarantine.
Yeah. It has.
We're disassociating rapidly.
I don't know who I am anymore.
Rapidly.
Yeah, it's really quick.
You know, people joke about it, but it's kind of fun.
It is fun.
You could just be whoever you want to be in any moment.
Yeah, but like, does that need to be during quarantine?
Yeah, it could really be at any point if you
Yeah.
just lose your shit enough.
Yeah, give it a try.
Give it a try, ladies and gentlemen.
Highly suggest.
Oh, and also, I guess we acknowledge the fact it's been a few weeks.
Yeah,
It's been a minute.
yeah, we took a little break. We saw a friend in Utah.
Went on vacation. Tyler's first big boy vacation.
I
on
went
the
on a
plane.
plane for the first time. I think it was the first episode I said I haven't been on a plane, and within this time frame, I've now been on a plane.
This podcast is really just making us change into who we really are.
Dude, yeah. I'm like a superstar now.
I feel like I can finally be myself. Now that people watch me and maybe give me money in the future.
Please, we are asking once again.
I'm once again
for
asking
your donations.
your financial support. Yeah, so we were gone for a few weeks, but it doesn't change anything. We're still the same. Tyler just looks a little different.
I had to get in the mood today.
Yeah, he had to. I don't know. He was farting a lot. It was really weird.
That was gassy.
He was pacing a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just a little freaky, but I think he's here now.
I had to
Please part of
access
him.
a different part of me.
Access concentration into the void,
Yeah.
into the ethereal realms.
Yeah.
Did I pronounce that right?
Ethereal?
Yeah.
Ethereal?
Ethereal is
Ethereal?
definitely what you say,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
I got it. I'm putting my fucking money down on that one.
Yeah,
I do
just
say
like
a lot.
epitome or...
Oh, fuck
No,
off.
that's fair. I'm not too sure if it's like ethereal or ethereal or
Words are fucking dumb, man.
ethereal.
I really don't. I don't care how you pronounce words as long as I get the point. It's done.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, it's just.
I think that's fair.
The words just point at whatever the words are trying to mean, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
You know? Fuck them.
Fuck them.
But anyways, back to the podcast.
Yeah, here we are. This is episode 6,
Yeah, it is.
I believe.
This is gonna be different though because we're doing. We've decided to cut our episodes into multiple parts or just 2 parts at the very least. We got some feedback from some friends, some people, and
Thank
it's very
you, Tyler, out in Utah.
I love you, Tyler.
It was some great advice that you gave us.
That was some killer advice.
Wonderful guy.
We're living in a very distracted world nowadays. We understand no one has 2 hours to listen to our stupid asses talk about stupid
well, like
shit.
that, but like you think about it too. Like if you see a podcast or like video that's an hour compared to a video that's 2 hours, which are you more likely to watch?
Exactly. Yeah, I do the same thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know?
So
I do the same thing all the time. We prioritize our time in certain ways, and I don't blame you for not wanting to listen to this shit for 2 hours. But at the same time, it's like I would say to people like watch as much as you want. Like I'm not.
It's not about like it's not about that, but like at the end of the day, like because we got feedback from people that are like, yeah, like I would watch it more, but like it's 2 hours and I don't have, and it's like, yeah, that's totally fair.
Right. Watch as much as you want. Like we're gonna do however much we want to do, and you're gonna watch however much you want to watch.
Exactly.
You know? Like it's just how it is.
Yeah, but we figured it would be good to kind of like segment it a little bit, you know.
I think
for our own sakes as well.
It's a lot easier for us, and ultimately, I think it's easier for other people to get into it if they want to.
Yeah.
And
most definitely.
We're gonna segment it into like probably 2 videos for today's episode.
Yeah.
And the first part's gonna be about stereotypes and biases, and the second part's gonna be how those shape our general perception of the world and everything. So whether you're interested in these topics or not, you could watch one episode, not watch the other. It doesn't really matter, right? Like, it's just more for the sake of convenience, I think, more than anything, right? So hopefully that works better for people, and I think for us too, because we're gonna take a nice little break in between each part, and it's just gonna be great.
I figured it would be a nice way to like refresh conversation and like give us a little mental break and stuff like that.
I think that's just more natural. It's usually it's not like
because like when we're talking here, it's not like it's just like 2 hours straight non-stop fucking firing back and forth like.
And when you're recording something, there's that you're aware of that. Yeah. So like it's gonna happen. Yeah. You're like, gonna feel we gotta be talking. That pressure's going to be there to some extent.
Sounds just making noises.
That was pressure?
Yeah.
Ooh. I felt it in my bones.
Oh, God. The camera.
Oh, my God. That's funny. But we've kind of talked about what we want to talk about prior to this, so we kind of have more of a general idea of what we're going to do.
We brainstormed a little more rather than things we like. All right, cool.
So we're not going to be just going on wild-ass tangents for 90% of the time and being kind of manic and insane.
No, but that's okay.
I mean, that's okay too, but, it'll be more entertaining, I think, overall.
Yeah.
Anyways, so stereotypes and biases. We just literally came up with this last night. It's kind of a general topic, but I think we have a lot to say about it.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to figure out where to start.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. I'm like, how do we start it though? Like,
well, I would say that I think stereotypes and biases kind of dictate everything, or a lot of things that we do, think, act. It's like a very, very wide range of effects that has, right? And there are layers to it, right? Like we have stereotypes that we're aware of, right? And we have stereotypes that we're not aware of that are subconscious, right?
Right.
Same with biases. I think our biases are something that we act like, I know I'm biased in this way, but what does it really mean to be biased, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that might like kind of point out biases, and like a lot of people, including ourselves too, I would say. Like I'm including like everyone. Like when I'm now saying that, like literally, a lot of people can notice their biases, and it's a matter of being able to like catch yourself in like the act and like catch those feelings of like the biases taking place. And obviously that's a fucking tough thing to do. It's not a very simple task where you can just like out of the blue be like, oh yeah, I'm being biased right now and snatch it.
No, it's not that easy. I mean, if it was that easy, we wouldn't
have people them. Yeah. Well, is that if it was
are there positive biases too? Are there things that we are positively influenced through our biases?
Definitely, yeah. Well, I mean, so too, yeah. Should we should we like start with like separating like biases and stereotypes then? Like
I think there are some separating factors.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to stereotypes, my first thought is like the way we look at people.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
The way we judge people without even realizing. That's kind of how our stereotypes, I feel like that's I don't know if I could directly define it word by word.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't think I could either.
I think it's more just action or just the way that you react to things too. You know? But I think reacting is more biased.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, because like I feel like stereotypes then would be like impressions you have before even like knowing someone.
Stereotypes, yeah, that's true. It's like a predetermined thing.
Yeah, like with races, like Asians are smart or black people are athletic and really good at basketball and stuff like that. Like it's like these biases that
and those are nice biases.
Fuck, and I said, yeah, dude, it's hard to like separate them, like, because like, they're kind of like one and the same.
They kind of are. I think we could use the same language.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think it necessarily matters.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know if we have to separate.
Yeah, no, I don't think it has to be separate. I think it could just be like one.
I think there's going to be times where both of us will want to use each word in different sentences, and it'll probably hold a different meaning. But like I can't tell you what the fuck the exact difference is. Yeah. If there even is one.
Dude, where do you think stereotypes stem from then?
Oh, everywhere, man. Everywhere. I mean, it stems from very simply as soon as we start existing in this world, right? Whatever we're being fed by our parents, by the things we're consuming, by our environment, the things that we're seeing, hearing, feeling.
Do you think biases are kind of passed down in the same sense of like stereotypes with like, because I feel like stereotypes are kind of passed down verbally, right? Or like passed on verbally rather than passed down, because like your parents could like,
they're more direct. Yeah,
your parents could like give you stereotypes that they have as well.
Oh, it literally is like that.
Yeah, and like, you know, other people that you meet in your life could have stereotypes and things like that you're being introduced to, and then it's like your own stereotype kind of thing. But do you think biases are the same way?
Yeah,
I
think so. I think biases,
like leaning towards certain things
I would
compared
say,
to others.
The reason why we're having trouble differentiating them is because biases play into stereotypes. They are the initial step into a stereotype. Yeah. You have a bias and then you create a stereotype.
It's like the fodder.
The fodder. Oh, the fodder that like I kind of get that. And then like the stereotype is like the big boss, you know? Yeah, that's true. I think that is a good distinction to make. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I get down with that.
Cool.
So that's a good way to separate though, because we'll talk about biases first and then go into stereotypes.
Yeah, okay,
that's kind of that's how it evolves, right?
Right, I think so.
We'll get into that. Whatever. So,
okay, so like you get like, you know, like Charmander is the first like evolution of his branch, right? So we get
but Charizard's sick.
We get biases as Charmander, right?
I like fire type Pokemon.
And we got Charmeleon, right? The middle, there's like 3, right? And then that'll be, you know, stereotypes. And then we get into perception and how that all ties in. That's fucking Charizard, baby.
Oh, that's interesting.
Bing,
I thought Charizard was going to be the ultimate stereotype.
No.
the Chad Charizard.
No.
Chad is a stereotype, that's for sure.
That is, 100%.
Okay, but
Karens,
yeah. That's a huge stereotype, and we all buy into that one. That's for sure.
Yeah.
We need to talk about how, like, certain stereotypes that we hold cause harm to us, even if they are right. Okay. You know what I mean? We'll talk about that later, but just something to think about.
Yes.
So biases, they start so early, man, and they are constant. Yeah. They don't stop. Right. Biases are constantly being subtly and not so subtly thrown in your face at all times. You know, I mean, when we're talking about like when you're really young, like when you're a baby.
Yeah, they're probably more innocent.
They are. Biases. They're more subtle. But I truly believe, and I think this is proven through scientific research, that kids soak up a lot more than we realize. Babies soak up a lot more than we realize.
Oh, 100%. Dude, I mean, like from like ages, you know, birth to 7, a kid's brain is a literal like sponge.
Oh, it's
just
like
soaking up everything.
And it's really dumb. Babies are dumb.
No, babies are smart though.
They act dumb, but they are absorbed. It's like
they're dumb on like a human being level, right? Like because they're not developed and all that.
They can't even wipe their own ass.
Dude, babies are so fucking smart. The fact that their brains are soaking up all that information shows how amazing like babies are.
And that's the difference, like, because I always make jokes about like, oh, like babies can't even like fucking talk or like do shit, but like deers have a baby and like they're just fucking running around like doing their own thing. They're acting like deer right out the womb. Yeah. And it's like
babies are just.
But the big difference is between humans and animals is like, or most animals, is that humans' potential is like exponentially higher than animals.
100%.
The potential to be like very aware and very intellectual and cognizant. That's the real key. So like you start out in this little form, but like that sponge can expand to so much in a positive or negative way.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So then that's where the bias.
You're gonna be picking up both sides of the coin there. Right?
Absolutely. You're soaking in negative. You don't have a choice in it.
Right.
Especially when you're a baby.
Yeah, dude.
You don't.
You're just like, I'm baby and soaking up all this shit.
I'm baby
like,
sponge.
You don't choose where you're like, man, like I'm baby and I don't like what I'm learning right now. Yeah.
Right. I wish we could. Yeah. You know, like.
That's so crazy.
It is crazy, man. Like, because I think a lot of people end up becoming monsters from the shit they soaked up when they were younger, you know? And it's not surprising.
You know, a thought I just had, since we brought in like deers and, you know, stuff like that.
You're thinking about deers. You're thinking about some does.
Some does, you know. I've been thinking about does recently.
They're really cute.
They're just cute. But do you think animals have biases as well? Like,
no, not a lot of them.
Towards certain, I mean, okay, so like I'm thinking like a dog right now, right? Like dogs have biases towards certain toys.
And humans.
Yeah. And like, you know, sometimes they'll be like, oh yeah, you know, my dog doesn't like male men.
Yep. I've heard so many people say like, oh, my dog doesn't like guys or girls or certain types of people or whatever. I think.
How do you think that starts then?
Oh, there's definitely some interesting science and psychology behind that. I don't know pretty much anything about it, but we can guess.
Yeah, we can
come up with some bullshit. I think it's really interesting to think about that. So I think
animals have a second receptor in their brain.
Just two receptors?
That receives thoughts from humans. Oh. So the human is subconsciously...
Bill Gates.
And
the aliens. It's all goes...
It's a cycle. Just go Bill Gates.
It's all connected, baby.
No, that's awesome.
Let's fucking go. Okay, but no, I think when it comes to animals, they have a bias, but not in the same way that we have biases.
No, definitely not. But like, it's still interesting to think like even animals have biases to an extent.
I would compare it to how a baby acts when they're a baby.
Is it preference then or bias?
That's the same thing in my head.
Is it the same thing, do you think?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't think animals make a whole conjecture about it like adult humans do, right?
No,
they do it almost subconsciously. They do it autonomically because they're animals. They don't have this like deep level of consciousness that is able to like
where they're like thinking
about
and
like, intellectualizing and conceptualizing. They
they don't. This toy is round.
There's no concepts.
I'm biased to round toys rather than square toys.
I mean, like when my mom's like, "Oh, Arlo wants his sweater right now," like. No, he doesn't. He's not thinking. He's meowing. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, dude, I mean, like, animals think about things they want.
Do they think? Do they have thoughts? I don't know.
Or do they just... Are you saying, like not thinking, just acting type of deal? Like
that's exactly what I'm saying, yeah. They just act. They don't think. Do you think they... I don't... From what we know about animals, I do not believe there's any animal that is capable of... having conceptual thought.
No, I don't think there's animals with like besides like maybe like dolphins
or
and
monkeys
shit. Or
not
like
even
closer to like human.
But even then, I don't know
level. But like, I mean, dolphins have their own
sonar.
Fucking, I don't know. Dolphins are like humans in the water.
Okay, right. Well, let's say this too. Animals are extremely sentient. They're still sentient. Yeah. They're animals just like us, but they communicate. They feel. But do they think? I don't. Some animals might.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know. I don't know if they think on the level that we think, where like we constantly have like an inner dialogue and like all that shit.
If they did, they'd be fucking killing themselves and losing their minds like we are. You know, like
that's
just
fair.
Being psychos.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe not, because like take like dolphins, like they have their own underwater civilization probably or some shit, right? They're not like in our like daily like human lives where we our inner dialogue is consumed by negativity and random shit. I'm sure like a dolphin's inner dialogue or some shit is like, I'm swimming in the water.
Their inner dialogue is like the fucking
you know, like I don't think they'd be like, man, life sucks, like I'm gonna...
It's not. If they do think, I don't think it's very complex.
But maybe they are, because like we're throwing shit in the ocean. They're like, man, like fuck these humans. Like,
well, we have some anecdotal stuff where it's like dogs that are abused or like kept in really shitty situations will like just completely like lose it, or like will be super depressed.
Sure. Yeah.
But like, is that just our labeling of it? What's actually happening inside their head?
Yeah, that's so interesting.
It's super interesting. I think we end up conceptualizing for them.
Well, we do. You know? I mean, it's all like conjecture at that point.
It literally is, and it's hilarious because we end up doing that, and it feeds into our own bullshit even more. It's like all these animals that were cohabitating this place.
Yeah, you like start projecting on your animals like.
Dude, everyone does that. My dog's sad. Oh my God, they feel so anxious. No, you're anxious.
Yeah.
No, it's not how that works. It's crazy.
My dog comes to me when I'm anxious.
Yeah, like, of course, dude.
I mean, that's possible. I mean, that's what dogs are sometimes trained for, right? To like help people with it. But that's not projecting in that.
They're
sense.
Simple though. Like they see that you're in distress, and they're like, oh,
they're like, here, let me lay on you.
I love you. I'm going to help you in whatever way I can. They don't actually think that though. They just do it.
Yeah.
They feel it, and then they act on it instantly.
Maybe that's like the difference then. There's no like, cause like we perceive something, right? Say like looking at our dog and we'd be like, oh, he looks sad, and then you start thinking about what is he sad about. I wonder why he's so sad. Like, why does he look so sad right now and shit like that, right? And then you'll maybe go like lay on your dog and you're like, it's okay, I love you. Do you think the dog? Probably not. But yeah, the dog would just be like, oh, sad. Like,
I think they can.
Let me go lick your face. Like,
I think they feel. Yeah, they do feel.
Yeah,
100% they feel.
So they like pick up on that.
They feel the energy,
and then just go and do what.
In the same way that you can notice someone else's energy as a human, why would animals not be as perceptive in that way, or if not more perceptive in a lot of ways?
Right.
Because animals don't have all the clutter.
Right. They don't have all the extra.
They don't
garbage.
have past, future. They are just present. They are present to a fault. They don't know what the fuck
time is and stuff.
They don't
like that,
have a choice in being present.
Is it to a fault?
In some cases.
In some cases, sure. Yeah, I agree.
I think we are like looking at the past or future for humans can be useful, but we don't use it in a useful way.
Yeah, for the most part, we don't. We just get stuck in them.
To be fair, animals exist and survive and whatever, right? Like they do the thing for the most part, except for the ones that don't have any control, like cows and pigs that they get slaughtered. But you know, like, but that's what I'm saying. We kind of control all that stuff for them. Yeah. So like we're like the consciousness in place
to their fault in that sense. Yeah,
right. Because we fill in that gap.
Yeah.
And for good and for bad, right? I think mostly bad, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I think how this ties all into biases is like, I don't know, animals was a whole fucking
that was I mean, it stemmed from the question of like if animals have biases.
Yeah, that was an interesting question though.
Yeah, interesting thing to talk about. But yeah,
we are animals.
To like us biases and stereotypes.
Our biases and stereotypes are more complex than any living
because
creature.
There's layers of it.
Yeah. There's layers on layers on layers.
It's like an onion.
Until it becomes your perception of everything else.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Until it starts,
Until it's just how you see everything. And you don't even realize that that's what it became. Yeah. Right? But biases are just like how you start to form concepts about things from a very young age, you know? You see your parents fighting, you see them hugging each other, you see them doing a certain thing a certain way. You're like, oh, that's how you do that. Sometimes you don't even think about it like that because you're, again, baby. But like as you get older, you start to conceptualize and really think about these things.
Because then you start thinking more about it, and then it's like, oh, like that's what love is. Like,
without even realizing.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm like looking at, you know, it's so great.
I knew it was the right decision.
If you're comfortable like that, that's fucking great, dude.
I'm having a wonderful time.
But no, you're right, dude. It's like you see that, you get a little bit older, I would say even like into your preteens, you know, like early preteens, like 8, 9, 10. Kids are really smart, man. Like,
dude, absolutely.
They really start. And the crazy thing is, though, that I don't think they're smart enough to realize that a lot of their biases and the way they think and the way they act is based on all the shit that just happened in their toddlerhood. You know?
No, there's no way. There's no way that they're at like the intellectual level.
Unless their parents taught them to be aware of that.
Yeah, I mean, that's possible.
Which is
like
insane.
That's a lot to teach like a kid at that young of an age.
99% of people are not learning that.
Right, yeah, no.
Not at all.
And they don't even know how to do that themselves.
Which is a shame in my opinion, but that's...
Yeah, I know, I agree. But like, I mean, like think about it. Like you could possibly, you know, teach a kid to like look back and reflect on shit like that. But that's a lot for like someone that young to like try to grasp.
Well, I wouldn't even say necessarily look back and reflect, but just be aware of how those things are affecting you right now, and then work with what's happening right now.
But like,
that's a lot, though.
I feel like that is a lot, like for that age. I feel like that, like in terms of like a educational curriculum, right? Yeah. Like how they're like, oh yeah, we save this algebra stuff for when you're in high school because that's when your brain is kind of like
for sure
in the phase after that, and it's like you can start like conceptualizing.
My brain never felt ready for algebra. That shit sucked.
Yo, fuck algebra.
Fuck math.
I actually liked algebra.
I enjoyed math, honestly.
Else, but
I was good at it. But
but yeah, before we go off on some math tangent.
Math tangent?
No, like there's a lot that happens from birth to 7, and then once you like hit a point where you start actually like using your brain in different ways, like it's so crazy to think that like one day you're just like, oh yeah, here I am, hello now.
But it doesn't feel like that.
No, it's not just like at the snap of your fingers.
But that's what it looks like from the outside, kind of.
Right. Yeah.
Because like I've noticed this with like certain family members and kids that I knew when I was younger.
Yeah.
They grow up and I'm like, what the fuck?
Dude, my little cousins are geniuses. I think my cousin Jack is like 12, 13, 14 now, in that area, and my cousin Anna's like 9, 10, 11. I'm really bad with ages like that.
Me too. I don't.
Seeing them at family parties and stuff, like you would see them when they're young and they're still like goo goo gaga and stuff, and then like next thing you know, like my cousin's like 3D printing stuff, and like he's super crazy intelligent and like cool. Probably smarter than me, and I'm like, the fuck, like like what happened? Like it's literally. Like it's just like like at the snap of a finger, it's like bam, this kid's just a genius. Like
it's definitely more gradual than we can perceive from the 100%. Outside.
But like
but that's what I'm saying. Like there's even biases that work in a positive way too. Like I'm sure when the kid that you're talking about was younger, their parents probably showed them some sciencey books and certain things, or talked about
very educational family.
Exactly. So like that biases you to be smarter.
Yeah.
Right? And to be more interested in
curious. I think is a good way to put it.
Which is a great thing.
Yeah.
We can
100%.
We can positively bias our children, right?
Yeah.
Like
to steer away from
the negative biases.
Shit, yeah.
But like it's still a bias at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, yeah. So like bias, I think, is a pretty neutral.
It can be
word.
Yeah, I think it should be.
Because it goes both ways. So bias itself is neutral, but it's the way that the bias is formed.
Well, that's what I would say too. Like I've heard so many people be like, "Oh, you're biased," and I'm like, "We're all biased."
Yeah, like
everything we do is biased.
Yeah.
Like it's just a kind of a stupid thing to say. Like
yeah. Because I was thinking for a second, when I said like preference, like is it bias or preference? Like it's the same fucking difference at the end of the day.
We all have preferences. We all have biases. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking thing. And I find it very weird when like, of course, you need to have a distinction between a negative bias and a positive bias, I think. And be like,
there has
this person is negatively biased in supporting this thing or talking about this thing, right? It's okay to have a bias, though, just a neutral bias. Be like, this person believes in this thing, so he's going to talk about this. Like, for example, veganism.
Right.
I'm biased towards veganism because I'm vegan. Does that mean I have some agenda?
Yeah.
No. What the fuck? Like,
no, you do. You're trying to fucking convert me.
I'm trying to make everyone healthy and stop killing animals.
You're trying to convert Amanda. You're
Tyler.
You're trying to convert everyone, Joey.
I don't feel bad about it. I really don't.
No, it's not like aggressively. Yeah. It's just like he's interested in it, so he talks about it.
And to be honest, I don't even feel bad about like actively like trying to be like, hey, like you should try this, like try this out. I would never say you should do this or else, right? I would never be like, if you aren't doing this, then you're like, nah.
If you're aborting your child because you can't support it, then you're a horrible person.
Oh, bro.
Type of bias.
Oh, I hate that shit.
Like,
I hate when people just like look at something and they're like, that is terrible. I would never do that. I would never be that. It's like, you don't know. You don't know the backstory. You don't know the context, man.
But I mean, that's biases at the end of the day too.
Bro, it's your bias against other people.
And that's taught from like, your religion.
Oh yeah, big one.
That's a huge thing.
Yup, hit it.
Wow, I just fucking slam.
Yeah, don't you, when you have that moment when you're like, oh, you had a thought and then you're like, wait a minute. That's an interesting thought. I could go into that more. Yeah, that's a good feeling. But religion is a huge thing. Whether it's religion, whether it's just a general way that you were brought up. Yeah. Even if it was non-religious. Yeah. You know, in a lot of ways, it's just like, here's your set of beliefs that you should have. And if you don't follow them, then you're not good enough. So it's like, if you don't follow these biases, then my bias is to hate you. Yeah. You know, like, it's crazy. Dude, it's fucking crazy. Let it simmer.
just let that simmer.
just let it sit. No, but really, man, it's like, it goes really deep. But then I think biases turn into stereotypes. Yeah. And the stereotype is, certain religious people are super dogmatic and really like
dogmatic. Yeah. What the hell does that mean?
Dogmatic means that you kind of follow a certain set of beliefs, like very finitely, like you follow this or else, right? It's just like any kind of thing that you believe in wholeheartedly. Yeah, 100%. Like, okay. Dogma can be good and bad too. Okay. And then those things turn into stereotypes too, right? Because you start to, if you're a super religious person, you start to stereotype people who are not religious or who don't believe in your religion as
Mr. Unholy, Mr. Unsaved.
Mr. Struggle.
Mr. Struggle? Dude, yeah. Fuck. Dude, I mean, that whole video, you guys, anyone who listens to this, I said that so weird.
That was cool.
If you guys know Cody Ko and Noel Miller, you should check out the That's Cringe series and check out the Girls Defined video. Yup. Because Mr. Unsaved is a direct quote from that.
That's like the extremes of...
Yeah. But that's like, it totally plays in like, like the type of guys that you should date, court, or marry, or that you shouldn't be with Mr. Unsaved.
Well, dude, that's the word should equals bias equals stereotype equals the way you perceive things. Like, there's no should. Yeah. No one should or should not do anything. It's just what you think you should do and what you think others should do. Yeah. Right? So that's a whole nother thing is, how do you control your biases, right? Mm-hmm. How do you realize that these are your biases and not meant for other people? Because some people will have you believe that your job on this earth is to convince other people that your way is the way. Yeah. Right? And that's what religion is for a lot of religions, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Because, I mean, you would think that, like, because, like, you want to get followers, right? Especially when it's, like, it comes to, like, the Catholic Church or something like that. Mm-hmm. Or, like, you know, the Mormon Church. Because I've learned so much about Mormons from my trip to Utah. Like, you want people to follow your church, but it's not for the because we want to help people. It's for like the moolah, like, give me the money, you know,
give me
like,
the money. Yeah,
it's not, it's just, it's like
it's twisted.
It is twisted. Yeah, I was trying to think of some way to say twisted. That. Yeah, it's like a twisted perception of it.
It's twisted.
Like, it's because then people are like, yeah, like, I'm Catholic, like, let me just give you my money, and, you know, then Jesus will love me,
and I'll be saved.
Or right? You're Mormon, and it's like, hey, I'm gonna give you 10% of my yearly income, right? Because I want to be saved by the Mormon Church.
I don't know how you ended up on that thought. You know, it's like, if I give someone money, this will happen in my life. You're giving away something to get like, what?
Well, I mean, in some cases it like makes sense. You know, you gotta like give to get type of thing. Like,
yeah, I mean, if you're like investing or like if you
investing, but like there's other examples too. You know,
right.
Like, you know,
spending money on like healthy foods
in a sense
of
like karma type of thing, right? You know, like
I'm saying specifically with money.
Yeah, but like specifically with that, like, but I mean, there's even in like money. You know, in business, it's like, you gotta, you know, sometimes you gotta spend money to make money, sure. And like that makes sense. But like, yeah, but if it comes down to like, I'm going to give this church my 10% of my yearly income.
My life savings.
Yeah, I'm going to give them my social, my life savings, my firstborn child, Tito.
Not the Mormon Tito.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that,
yeah, they named him Tito, 100%. 100%. Wow, I don't know where that came from.
I don't know. I was just throwing a name out there.
That's a good fucking name right there.
Yeah, I like Tito.
Well, we all have our biases for Tito and not Tito.
Yeah, dude, you know? Not everyone's going to like Tito, but...
Some people like Tito's vodka. Some people like Grey Goose. Some people like...
Yeah, dude.
It just depends what you drank as a baby.
Alcohol, yeah. It's all formed by what you drank as a child.
What your alcoholic parents drank when they were trying to raise you, basically. Yeah. But no, I think having a conversation about these things is like having a conversation about every human on Earth. Like, they're all so unique. The set of biases is what's really unique. Because, like, you can see similarities between certain people, and, like, I think we tend to congregate with people that have similar biases and away from people that have biases that are totally different than us, right? So, like, that's definitely a thing that I've noticed for sure. Yeah. Like, it's really freaky. Like, I'll realize, go ahead.
Do you think biases, in a way, form our morals and values?
Yeah, it's part of perception, yeah. Absolutely.
Interesting.
Why wouldn't, 100%.
Hello.
Morals and values, yeah. I mean, aren't morals and values part of, like, you're biased to believe in certain morals and values, just in the same way that religion kind of gives you those set of values and morals that you should follow?
Yeah, I guess so.
Right?
But, like, I mean, I think over time, then, like morals and values can be adapted.
I think they should change
as you develop as a person.
Absolutely.
So it's not just, like, written in stone by what you were taught as a child. It shouldn't be, but it is for a lot of people.
And some people will be told that this is how it is, and this is how it is always going to be.
Right.
So your bias is to believe that this doesn't change. So then your bias...
Yeah, okay. And so, and that, I'll throw in my personal example.
I was going to say we should talk about personal.
Like, not me, like, specifically, but, like, okay, so, like, my mom doesn't like swearing in the household.
Me neither.
From, like, me, my sister, my brother, but, like, obviously she's 52, I think. And it's like, like, she's heard swear words in her lifetime, but, like, growing up, she told me that her parents didn't want her swearing. So now it's like a trickle-down effect, right?
Trickle-down economics of biases.
Of biases, yeah, exactly. Trickle-down biases.
Economics.
So now it's like trickle down, right? So, like, she would prefer if, like, we're not swearing and stuff, which, like, it's funny because, like, after watching the first 5 episodes, like, I was swearing, like, every other sentence.
Oh, me too.
Every other word. And my uncle had to be like, yeah, dude, you guys swear a lot. And I was like, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I mean, it's fair.
It's fair. But
I mean, compared to what, though?
So, like, I swear a lot at home. So, again, it could be understandable in the sense of, like, maybe my mom wants me to just, like, cool it. But, like, I've gotten to, like, a little conference.
Little battle of ideas.
Yeah, battle of ideas. A little
the marketplace of ideas.
Yeah. About it, because, like, my sister said fuck, and my mom was like, I can't believe what I've just heard. And I'm like, but Mom, you know that word. You've said that word.
Heard, like, that word her whole life.
Yeah, like, and then the other day, my mom, like, said the word fuck and, like, seemed kind of happy about it, like, and, like, I use it, and I showed her this other video it was probably the best video we saw in Utah. It was the greatest thing ever. Of this dude, like, just repeatedly saying, like, the same words over and over. One of them is like, fuck, baby, steak, baby, fucking Monday, baby, whatever Monday is, fucking make it a great steak one, baby, fuck. And and, like, he just kept saying the words over. And, like, my mom was, like, laughing at it, and, like, she thought it was kind of funny. And, like, it's just words at the end of the day. So it's like, it's like, you want to swear. Like, who's telling you that you can't swear? Your parents from however many years ago? Like, Mom, you're 52 years old. You're an independent woman with your own kids now, Like,
absolutely. So it's like, are her parents still doing that? No, she doesn't live with them.
Right, yeah. They're not continuously still, like, being like, Vicky, like, don't swear.
Right. So then that's why this is a really interesting topic to talk about, because it's like that bias started when you were really young.
Yeah.
Turned into maybe a kind of stereotype of people who swore or people who didn't swear, and then it turned into your perception of the way your kids should be, the way I want to be, the way, it's like it became your whole thing. So, like, you have this whole perception, this concept of what people should or should not do, aka swearing,
right?
And that's how she operates. So it's like that little little fucking thing in her head.
It was like a little needle that was thrown. It's like, bink, no swears.
Literally.
It's like, dude, from Hunter x Hunter, man.
Dude, I was literally thinking that. Holy fuck. I was thinking
Killua's brother put the little pin in his head, whatever.
Yeah.
A little thing. That's exactly what my mind was going to. Bro. It's a little bink.
But like
it's just stuck in there.
We create our own
pull it
out,
thing. You just gotta dig into the fucking skull and rip it out.
Yeah,
man.
that's lobotomize yourself. Fuck it. But no, when it comes to swearing though, I think it is such a weird thing to be upset about, honestly.
Because it's harmless at that, because like I've never been like, like fuck you, mom, like, like. You're a bitch, mom.
Yeah.
Like fucking.
It's derogatory.
Yeah, I'll say that stuff to my sister, but like that's like our banter right? Yeah. That's how we do it.
Yeah. And even between us, we can say
like,
the most
dude, like you
shit.
saw. I just showed you. Like I posted a funny Snapchat story of me like this, right?
Yeah.
And my sister responded. She's like, "You're fucking ugly," and I'm like, "I know. Like, thank you. Like, thanks for the reminder."
Yeah.
Like,
it's just like
it's fun,
and that's what I mean. It's like. Part of the bias is like,
and that's my bias. Is like,
do you have a sense of humor?
Yeah.
Like, do you like just have fun with shit?
Dude, and that's the thing. Like, my mom has that sense of humor too, because like
she made you.
Like
Where'd you get it?
Yeah. Like throw it back a couple of years to like a Christmas Eve. We have my aunt and uncle over and our little cousin over every Christmas Eve, and one Christmas Eve, my mom has a fuck ton of nutcrackers. Like little, it's just like her thing. Yeah. And so she had them all like lined up on a table, like a little side table, and my uncle took the time to like turn a bunch of them around, or like all of them around, so they're facing the wall, just like a little funny bit. And my mom noticed it and then was like, "Who the fuck turned around my nutcrackers?" And like she knew it was her brother, right? So that's why she felt like it was okay, like who the fuck, but like. She was saying like that's the only reason why I said fuck, because it was funny. And I'm like, yeah, well, so you see, you get it, like.
What's the difference?
Like if you were just like, who turned around my nutcrackers? Like that's so lame. Like
I mean, yeah. Either way, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter either way. But like, it's
whether
like,
you choose to swear or not, it doesn't matter. And so
right, but like in my head, it's like more fun. In her head, it's
for
more
us,
like
for our sake.
It's more like,
I agree with you.
Gotta be proper.
Exactly. So it's like there's no right or wrong necessarily. It's just your bias, right? And it's like, how much does your bias detract from your experience of joy, peace, happiness in real life, your ability to connect with other people?
Yeah.
That's where it's really important to be aware
Not saying that my mom lacks at that because she doesn't like us swearing.
Yeah,
like,
no, I don't. I think
just
someone who doesn't like to swear can just enjoy life and be at peace just as much as someone who likes to swear.
Exactly.
It's just a choice. It's a simple choice. Why are we judging other people for their choices?
Yeah.
And it's especially if it's not harming anyone.
Right.
That's the big difference, is like, we can judge people for their choices if it harms someone, right? Even then, I would say don't judge them. Just be like, hey.
Just acknowledge it and be like, hey, like,
what's going on?
What
like,
are you doing, brother?
Yeah, like try and talk
Sister.
to them.
Yeah.
But like, if it's non-derogatory swearing, just random whatever.
Yeah.
Who cares, man?
Yeah.
We all show different versions of ourselves at different parts of our day, or on different days too, right? Like some days I'm more prone to swear or not swear.
Yeah.
When I'm at work, I don't fucking swear like this.
It's like situationally.
We're doing a podcast, right? Yeah. We're hanging out.
Well, we're trying to keep this like light and like normal.
And for some people, that may not be light to hear swearing all the time, but
yeah. Well, at the same time though, like when I noticed how much I was swearing, I was like, come on, man. Like, it's like every other word you're dropping, like an F-bomb or like some stupid. You're just filling in blanks with swears.
Well, I had a thing, too, that I realized looking at some of the old podcasts. I was like, I say like a lot.
Bro,
like all the time.
It's so funny. I was just watching, when I was working the other day, I had like a Cody Co. Noel podcast, Tiny Meat Gang thing going. And it was just a couple moments from their podcast, and it was like this moment, or this guy made a whole montage from one of their episodes of saying like, and it was like, see, I'm saying it too, like as I'm trying to describe
I literally
this.
just
it's so hard. Say has done the same thing to me that this guy did, but he counted every single time they said like, and it was like 176 times in like the matter of an hour or something, right? Or whatever it was.
That's crazy.
And Say has done the same thing to me too. Like I sat there one day talking on Xbox, and he wasn't saying anything for like a solid 5 minutes. And after the end of it, he's like 43 times. He's like, you've said like 43 times in the past 5 minutes. And I was like, fuck. Like,
I mean, again, how is saying like or not saying like any different than swearing or not swearing?
It's not, I mean? But it's like,
the reason
it's in my head now. I keep saying
the reason why I realized it was because I was rewatching it and looking at it from a frame of judgment, of looking at myself and being like, oh, well, how am I acting? Not in like a bad way necessarily, just being like, how do I talk, right?
Yeah.
And I realized that I say it sometimes because I'm trying to get out thoughts and it's
it's just a filler. It's
filler completely.
Filler, yeah.
And in reality, you don't need to fill it, but
right.
habitually we do that because we're used to doing it.
And at the same time, it's not like you're in front of a crowd of people.
Yeah,
you know, giving a presentation and shit. We're not in school doing public.
There's
speaking.
no pressure for the most part. I mean, there's not a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hound you for saying like a lot.
And likewise,
other people might.
Likewise,
likewise. Okay.
You can't do that.
What? Do what?
You
Yeah.
You did the Kanye thing.
That's my thing.
That's Kanye's thing, actually.
I took it and developed it into my own.
Like
thing.
a bias.
Like a bias.
Relatable. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
There was something I wanted to talk about yesterday that I was gonna. Oh wait, it was like.
That was today. That was like
today. What was it?
This morning. You
tell me.
I
didn't even give you a hint.
You started speaking. You're like, I'm gonna save this.
Damn, that's tough.
That's.
We need to write stuff down.
Do I need to start using my accent again to like?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
That's fair.
Not at all.
I don't have to then.
You want to? I don't care.
No, I just thought maybe it'd like trigger like a memory or something.
Let's talk more about like our biases though. Like,
okay,
what are some things that are like kind of obvious biases that we have?
Fucking obvious biases. I'm more of a stay in person, so like I notice a lot more. Yeah, I notice a lot more of how often people fucking go out and like do stuff, and you know, me personally, it's like, how do you do that? Because I would die. Yeah. Like, you know, that's a bias, and like it's hard. I gotta catch myself from like looking at it like, man, like what are they doing? Like blah blah blah. Because like it's their decision, it's their life. Like I'm not.
Not all of them are doing it with bad intent. Either.
Yeah. But like but it like makes me like kind of think about like, oh, like, you know, what are they possibly running from too, like that they feel that they need to go out all the time. If that's the case, now there's people that probably like that's their version of fun, of course.
Oh, for sure.
And
people
that's
love
fine.
Yeah.
But like I think about stuff like that, and like vice versa, you know, like staying at home, you know, not going out and doing stuff. It's same, like, you know, it's vice versa. Yeah.
Right. It could work the same way.
Yeah, it could work the same exact way.
And that's like creating that distinction can be a little dangerous. Be like, oh, I'm not like them. I'm like this.
Right.
That's, you know, but I don't think you're doing that.
No, like, I mean, at some points, yeah, definitely.
Sure, the bias is like,
it comes up and is like, you know, but I've worked on it to the point where it's like, people are doing their own thing. I don't have to look at them and be like, they're doing it wrong. Yeah. They should be doing what I'm doing. Because like people are gonna be looking at me and being like, he should be doing what I'm doing. And like, there's no difference then. It's like a stalemate. Like fucking
exactly.
Like there's no point in
there's a stalemate of ideas. Like there's just nothing to gain or lose. Right.
It's the polarity of it.
So that's when you said working on it. That's kind of how you work on it, is by kind of creating a devil's advocate in your mind, being like, hey, like.
You notice it comes up, and it's like you gotta, just like you said, like a devil's advocate.
You create a devil's advocate.
Yo, man, but like, who fucking cares?
Right. Like, or like trying to step in their shoes for a moment.
Yeah, exactly. Empathy is an important thing to use when you're in that.
Absolutely.
Putting yourself in the shoes of some other person.
Or just think about how they might look at you. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe they think you're lame because you don't go out enough or whatever. Like,
and it's like, I guess
we both suck then.
It's the same way.
You know, I guess we both suck.
We equally suck. Yeah.
Exactly. So, but I think it cancels each other out, really.
Yeah, to the point where you could just be like,
people are just different.
Do what they want.
Yeah, people are just all different. You know,
it's not that big of a deal.
Right. But that's what you said about what are they maybe running away from. that's a very common thing.
Yeah,
right?
but I think that's also just like a human thing too. Like, I think about that in like every situation. Like, if someone's like working out a fuck ton, it's like,
if they're
like, do you think like
working crazy hours?
Working crazy hours. Like, what do they have like going on? Like that they feel that they need to like slave away or like work out like 5 days a week, strenuous shit to like get in shape or some shit. Like,
part of me questions that a lot because it's like, of course, people have their different hobbies, things they like to do, but I've noticed people that I've actually interacted with and that are in my life that do certain things. I can tell to some degree that they're doing it to run or they're doing it because they enjoy it and actually want to.
I think the biggest indicator is like their mental health. Yeah. At that point, because like,
are they happy doing it? Are they okay?
Are they happy doing it, or is it like they're doing it and suffering
miserable
still?
Yeah.
And
because then at that point, why would they be doing it?
Yeah, it's like because it's habitual then, right?
And it's just a distraction.
And it's a distraction from. Yeah.
Right. And they're just but the habitual thing too is that you habitually do this thing over and over again, and it's like you get addicted to it. Yeah. Right? And addiction is just running away from pain, as we know. So it's like, yeah. Yeah. So like that's crazy to think about, man. Like, and then you have that bias towards them, even though they're just addicted to something, just like you're addicted to, I don't know, whatever else, video games, nicotine. Yeah. I don't know. Like, it could be anything. Pick your poison. Right. It's a really good way to be compassionate towards people and be empathetic when you look at it like that.
It is 100%.
It almost creates like a neutrality though, more than anything. Yeah. And then
because it's just a stalemate,
right? Like, and then when there's that neutrality, you can just choose to just love them and be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna love you anyways.
Dude, yeah. I mean, and it ties in again with like even what that monk was saying in the video, like we brought up in one of the other episodes, like. Would you rather be right? Like, would you rather force your opinion down someone's throat,
your bias,
and like, or like be unhappy because other people aren't doing the things you're doing, or just be like, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
I don't have to let this bother me.
Crazy. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'll be.
What's I'm saying? Let go. Yeah. Like you can have your biases, you have your opinions, your stereotypes, whatever. But like, just let them be there. Yeah. Right. And just don't give a fuck. Yeah. Right. Like. Why does it matter? Why do you need to exert them? Why do you need to express them? Yeah. All the time. Yeah. Because ego, right? Yeah. Ego plays into this heavily.
100%.
Your biases are given power by your ego. I would say.
Yeah. I would think that's a proper way to.
And your stereotypes too. Eventually.
Yeah. You kind of empower them through feeding them
without even realizing. Sometimes most of the time.
You feed them the energy and
negative energy
they become more prevalent.
And other people feed the negative.
Yeah. Yeah, in both ways. Yeah.
Right. But ultimately, you're the one doing it because if those negative people are feeding it, you're allowing them to. Right.
It's your decision on whether it affects it.
To be fair, there are some cases where maybe you live with a family member that feeds some negative biases and stereotypes. Yes. And you can't run away from that in some situations. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you're alone and you have to deal with these things and you're responsible for them. Yep. Especially when you're an adult, right? I think about people our age that are just like floundering around, just letting themselves be like fucking controlled by their biases all the time and just acting like they have no control over it.
I mean, that's like the weird shit you'll see, like fucking high schoolers that'll be like, we need to build a wall. I love Trump. I'm a huge Trump supporter. It's like you don't know a single fucking thing about politics.
I mean, neither do I.
And even if you do, you're 14 years old and ignorant, right? Like
I don't
like it's the parents that are like passing down these things like that, but it's like a bias like that. So then you get like little fucking mini Trump supporters walking around like,
right, they're just spouting
whatever. Yeah, they're just spouting nonsense.
They're just regurgitating. They're regurgitating the biases of their parents and the stereotypes and the views and perceptions of their parents. Like all that. And it is sad to see, but eventually, I think it's different with high schoolers, like people who are still teenagers, still figuring it out. Like I look at them and I'm just like.
Well, that's what I'm saying, yeah, because they walk around like, I'm a Trump supporter. It's like, you don't even know what you're saying.
To be fair, though, like, I remember I got into politics when
towards, like, the back end of high school.
I was 18, too.
Like, senior year.
But at the same time, I think, like, even when I was 18, I was super ignorant compared to what I am
even now. That's what I'm saying. Like, like you can get political in high school, but, like, do you really know
right
anything.
And that's what I would argue too, that like even people who are really into politics and try to be aware of everything,
politics are biases.
Literally, yeah.
Politics are based around biases,
mostly,
stereotypes, stuff like that.
Yeah, mostly. I think there are a lot of objective things that we can look at that are like, okay, these political ideas would maybe help this. It's all conjecture though until it's a reality, right?
Agreed.
We can look at what's happening right now and being like, you know what, these wars in Syria are fucked up on a moral level, and that's a bias that I'm okay with admitting, right? Yeah. Fuck wars. That's my bias. I'm also,
my bias is I don't want a bunch of people dying.
Yeah, and I'm also like, you know, fuck the rich, right? Like I'm okay with having that bias because I have a reason to have that bias. Yeah. And it's not something I hold on to so tightly, though, that it causes me suffering. Yeah. You know? Like, if I knew a millionaire or a billionaire, I wouldn't hate them. No. You know what I mean? And that's the controlling it. Mm-hmm. Keeping it in a safe box. Like, you can have them, just keep them under control. Mm-hmm. Keep those ego... You don't need
to, you don't need to like let them off the leash and just fucking run rampant.
And people do that and act like they can't. Yeah. Right?
Those are the Karens then.
Right, and those are the crazy fucking Trump supporters. Those are the crazy fucking liberal people as well, right? Like any extreme
both sides of it.
Absolutely. Any extreme ideas are people who just do not have any control over their biases, perceptions, ideas, stereotypes. And they don't want to.
It's like living in La La Land, kind of, you know? Like, just fucking just going by like, day by day, like...
Guess I'll fucking be racist today.
Yeah, you know, it's like... Dude, my favorite Karen video of all time is the one where she's got her dog, and she's on the phone calling the police saying that the man who's recording her is attacking her and her dog. While if you look at the dog, she is literally strangling this dog on the leash because the dog's like fucking like flying around like shit, like yelping, like literally being choked. Mm-hmm. And she's so focused on that and like, oh, we're being attacked. He's hurting me and my dog. It's like, look at you're hurting your dog, right? Like because of this, like
that's what I'm saying.
Hello,
man. Like some people,
you're psycho.
It's so psychotic, man. And like that's what I'm saying. Like we will look at that and be like, oh, that's cringe. Like that Karen is crazy, whatever. But like, bro, it's like looking at a helpless animal in my mind. It's like they don't know any better, right? They truly don't. Karens are just helpless animals. Like, of course they're humans. I'm not trying to dehumanize
them.
I
know. Right? That just made me laugh.
But they really don't.
The hat fell. I might as well just...
just go with it. Yeah, now just take it all out. Over. Let it... But no, really, like...
It's been me this whole time.
Chadlick is gone. I've taken over again. Fucking multiple personalities disorder. That'd be sick, man. It'd be like Split. But no, like you said, they don't even realize what they're doing, right?
No.
And like when your level of awareness is that low, I feel bad, right?
Yeah,
I do feel bad.
There's definitely some bits of compassion that 100%. You can feel for that.
And you should. You absolutely should, even if they're the worst, most awful Karen that is actually hurting and causing harm to people and being racist and awful. Yeah. There's still some compassion you need to find. You can't just say fucking let's kill them all. Like what?
Down with the Karens.
Right? Like how do we learn from that? Did we learn a lot from fucking Hitler just being like, let's kill all the Jews, right? Like, no, it's just pointless killing and awful shit. I don't think people advocate for killing Karens, though. Hopefully.
I mean, I don't think so. I wasn't thinking that was like a thing.
Well, that's just the extreme of hate, right? Like, just I want them gone, right?
Where are we at time-wise?
We're about an hour, so we could take a break.
Cool.
Soon. Yeah. Or now if you want.
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel like
I was gonna say I feel like we've kind of hit a nice little stopping point here.
So we'll stop for now, take a little break, and then we'll come back.
We're gonna take a short commercial break.
Short commercial break.
Thank you to this episode.
I wish we had sponsors, bro. I want money. Shit.
Kronos water bottle. I've had this water bottle for quite some time, and it keeps my water cold.
Nice and crisp.
And I can make fun noises with it.
Oh, do it. Do it. Tyler is legendary. You
gotta the reverberation.
You gotta do the...
I need it to be less water.
Oh, see, Tyler's is not at the right water level.
And the next one, stay tuned for next episode.
the next
Tyler
part
plays
for the
Goron
next 50
City
minutes
tune on his water bottle.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.